Alright, we're recording here. So what I'm about to share is deep. And what I'm trying to do here is connect with the depths on my channel. So what I'm going to get into is I've been having some epiphanies in relation to 9/11. And this is about Samson. You heard about Samson and Delilah. The story is Samson pushed the two pillars and it was killed everybody, including himself, and people in Nineveh. So now when you look at this, Samson is equals 2. Equals 7. Not everybody can be a Mason. I mean, everybody's a Mason, but not everybody could be a Freemason. Freemason equals 9. Mason equals 2. So you get 9/11 right there. So then when you look at, just look at Delilah. So Delilah, you can see the two pillars, and I equals 9 as well, because the ninth letter is 9, and it looks like a little person right there between the two pillars. So now when you scramble that and look at the two pillars, right, then you see idea. I'm going to be fast here, not crazy with the eraser. Trying to get to the points. So when you look at the military time as well for 9/11, so it's 9/11/01. The military time is 11/9/01. So then you're looking at KIA and military acronym. Now we've all seen the $20 bill. Pull it up. We'll get into that one too, as well with everything going on right now, but it's interesting. Hang on. It's shaped like an airplane. Notice the triangle going down as well. I'm going to get into that. It's about correlating patterns, you know, staying within guidelines. We're just showing a lot of correlating images of things going on right now. So when we're dealing with Samson and Delilah, we're dealing with this 6 syllable. like Sermon on the Mountain, Sodom and Gomorrah, David and Goliath. And we see this V in a lot of places, right? Now, you also notice that looks like the Roman numeral 6. So what is it about the 6? What is it about these pillars we keep seeing? Could be seen as Jacob and Boaz. Ironic that a bat would be on the quarter for 2020. It's weird how things correlate. I'm going to get into some of the symbolism that I'm showing here. Just kind of giving you a taste of the symbology and stuff we keep seeing. $1968 record. So when we look at these abracadabra, we look at that triangle down. It's interesting in that cartoon of Kobe, those trophies kind of resemble Jacob and Boaz. I'll get into that. It's just stuff I see. Pops out. Hoping other people can open up their own researching minds here. Just, kind of see the connections. Hey, that's ironic. So, when we get into those two pillars, it kind of goes back to Egypt. Anyway, I want people to check my my other stuff too. So I have this where I put a lot of my stuff up, and when I put a lot more, but I'm gonna break it down on my YouTube, so you're watching the right thing here. But check this out. This is what I saw from the Nike box. So playing around with the angles from the same things. Turn the Nike box. Crap. So turn it that way. You see the triangle down with the head, and then you see triple crown at the top. We'll get into that. So Anubis is N ubis, which is when you look at Nike, and there's a play with the M and the N, so Nike's also a play with Michael. Turn it that way, you also see the Z, and all up in there, and then 6 points. We're back with the servant on the mountain, Sodom and Gomorrah, Samson and Delilah. So where everything kind of emanates. And then you heard the word, yeah. So words have this abracadabra stuff, different meanings. So air, Samson being air. There's also air going out the hair. There's also air. But you hear the word enlighten is also N, light, N, which is, if you look at the crosshatch patterning, which your crosshatch shows light and shadow, and N, lighting and N, you know, I see that as an M, and then the M and the N that take on the M sound. So you think of inmate, like the N is in the M, because let's think of the word hymn, condemn. Other examples, and it's in the middle. So the middle, we're dealing with 13 both ways from the alphabet, which is 4/4, which is an 8. Everything emanates, kind of like a ribbon. And then you see kind of like that location sign on each side. You've seen that in red and blue. And X marks the spot right here. Which is the dog's name Spot, and that's also Dot, and the dog's name Spot. They're also dealing with Polaris. We're dealing with the North Star. But staying on point with the end light in. When you look at the crosshatch, the shadow and the light, we're dealing with 3 triangles up and 3 triangles down, and they can also be mixed like this. That's 2 triangles. 2, we get movement. Now, when you look at Adam gave a rib to Eve, which is also even, because the one end is hidden, just like I said with that crosshatch pattern with light and dark. So you can also look at add M or Adam, which equals 10, or X. Notice how the V is in the center of Eve, which is also 5, and N equals 5. You think of the word hidden as like hide N. Think of the game hide and go seek. You know where these names come from. Also dealing with day and night too, and we'll play around with different languages. You can see connections as well. And then you can see like even, you get events. It's also plus sign for an event. From a sideways angle, just like the N. Sideways is also the Z at the end. And the A at the beginning is also a triangle. Which if one is visible and one is invisible, you also get that, you know, which has the 6. And you could say 2 and ah, because if you do ah is spelled with 2 A's, which has, if you tie those in together in a knot or an ankh, which the place where the ankh is from is Tayet. Tayet. There was no English language then. So Adam gave a rib to even. So 10, which is the x, also equals 1. So he gave a rib to Eve to even. So Eve equals 5. You could look at that as 5, 4, 5, which is 9 and 5, which is 14, which equals 5. That's how they spell it, right? So if you add the 1 to the 5, you get the 6. So they were dealing with the movement. Again, if things emanate and they go back and forth with the 4 and the 5. Because let me show you another reflecting pattern. They say Jesus walked on water. Or did Moses turn the water red? Because it was probably blue. But when you look at the center of the alphabet, the beginning is the heart. When you look at the heart symbol, which is also 2 location signs, which is also 2 V's right there. Love, which you see the 5 and the V. There you go. Everything emanates. When you're born, the first thing is the heartbeat. When you have your life, you know, for your breath and all that, first thing is your, I'm going to get into all that, but the first thing, and then you can see the pulse. You can see, you don't have that, you're flatline, you're dead, right? So you see that everything emanates right there. You can see the X also, how, you know, Adam equals the 10, which is also an X. You can see the 13 going from in the alphabet. Z is sleep, which is 3 triangles that way, 3 the other way. Awake, which is also awake N. So you awake N. And when you look at middle, you see idol, which you see idol. So you see idolize, which you see, so you see idle eyes and idle eyes. It's also idol eyes. It's also dull eyes. You see riddle, you see R, which is vibration, so you see vibration and idle and riddle. And when you get into the movement of like that pattern, right? You also see fix, the word fix, which is also 6, because F is the 6th letter. So you could also write that as, you could also say, if you do look at it that way, fix is 6-9, because you can see the Roman numeral 9. So with a 369, 3 is the tree. Put 3 and 3 is the start, just like 0. Both are spelled with 4 letters. 1 and 2 are both spelled with 3, just like 2 triangles. And they say, because you got 0, 1, 2, and 2 is movement. So you got 3 and 1. This 1 is spelled with 3 letters. 2 is spelled with 3 letters. So these are just things that are falling in place that I see. And hopefully I'll waken up some heads. Okay, I did say about the Moses walking on water. I'm sorry, changing the water red, and Jesus walking on water. So don't let me forget that. Just opens up a lot of stuff that's it's like water skiing, getting in that groove, right? So with the M and the N, how everything emanates. So when, just like that. Here's another thing with the mirror image of M and N. N is the same. If you look at the word onion, like if we're folding this paper over, onion would look exactly the same upside down. However, M would not. M is the one that would turn to a W. W is the 23rd letter, which is a 5. N is a 5. N is a 5. So we see the Trinity. We see the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. And M is the 4. So 4, we see roof and the floor. So roof is above, floor is the bottom. And in floor, we see the L, which is that Trinity, because L is 12, which equals 3. And you could also see that as the rib. That's Adam's rib, because floor, that's the 5 and the 4. So we see the one right here, which is the roof and the floor for the 3. So we see 7 in the center of the compass, which is the G, which is also the 6 and the 7. I'm going to get into that. And G, force, gravity, grace. You see how everything emanates. Might as well keep going while I'm on the M and the N. See, we see the 4 and the 5 right here in the center, which is the 9, which is the Samson. Which is also the eye. When they do the triangle with the eye. Just say I am. That we're dealing with left, we're dealing with left, we're dealing with flesh. Elf on the shelf. Elf on the shelf. And it's interesting when you look at the word elf. All the letters were written like that, point right. But getting back into how everything emanates. You'll see felt. If it emanates, we got the H. H is in the ghost letter. Ghost letter, ghost ladder. It's the ghost ladder. between heaven and hell. In heaven and hell, we got the even. L, I guess we got the 5 and the 3, we got the 8. I'll put another 3. I don't know, I have to go back on that one. Or they elevate. I don't know. I have to get back on that one. I'm just marinating on that one. You can see the game board. So anyway, it's from the oldest signs we have. These two, you could do the 2 H's. Hey, let me rewrite this. So when we look at the crosshatch, like I said, with the style of writing that shows dark and light. Some of the oldest images we have in caves are like the heart, what we call the hashtag, and the cross symbol. So now we look at the images of Amma. They're like this. So we see these everywhere, right? Another thing I thought was interesting, if you put these together, so meaning you obviously see the game board. We see this going in both directions, right? We see the cube in the center. And so then what do we get? We get the triple crown. We get this trinity going in 3 directions. So the pitchfork. Pitchfork's 3. You see the E as well. You can see the E because that's energy. The symbol for energy is this. And then you can also see the M, for movement, which is the M and the N, how everything emanates. And then we could also see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The Knights of the Round Table, the 12 disciples. And don't forget the center is the I, because the M and the N, or whatever. So anyway, different viewpoints there. We see the game. We're playing a game. It's game. Six is also a 3-letter word. So we get the tree, the 3 of life. So you see the 3 from one perspective. You see it in the word 6. You see the word 6 from another perspective. And then from another perspective, you see the Roman numeral 9. 3, 6, 9. equals 15, which breaks down to 6. So this is a lot. This is a lot of energy, frequency stuff. What it's hidden and dark shall come to light for those with eyes to see. And if anybody finds my channel, I'm gonna put down some more stuff. But that Samson and Delilah kind of like hit me. It's one of those things where I'm around people, I'm just like, oh damn, and I'm like, just can't wait to put it down. So I'm gonna upload this, and hopefully this comes out good. All right, cool.